first let's understand what is a function, right? So we actually knowingly or unknowingly use a lot of functions in our life, right? All the things, gadgets, all the things that we use in our life are pretty much working on the basic principle of function. To be very frank, even our mind works on the basic principle of functions in a way. So what do I mean by function, right? Let's say there's a black box like this. There's something that goes in, I call it input, and something happens inside and then it will throw output, right? What happens inside is defined by this something called function. Now that's how I would define a function as. So take something as input, right? Have a definite definition of what to do with that input, and then whatever you get as output, you should throw that out as output, right? So what am I talking about? Let's take a simple example of an alarm clock, right? It does work on the basic principle of function, obviously. What is the input that it takes? So let's say I said to alarm that ring at 11 a.m. right? When, let's say it's a 24-hour clock, so 11 a.m. So when hour is, input of hours is 11 and minutes is 0, then you should ring, right? That's what the algorithm would look like, because it has to ring at 11 a.m. because it's a 24-hour clock. So 11 p.m. would be 23:00. So when the input is having an hour variable of 11 and minutes is 0, then you ring. That will be my output. Otherwise, stay silent. It has two choices. So input keeps going, like let's say the time is 10 a.m. now, right? It will take input as 10 and 0, that's hour and minute. Let's say it is 10:15 now, it will take input as 10 and 15 and so on. Suddenly now it's 11 a.m. so it will take input as 11 and 0. Once it gets input of 11 and 0, it looks at the algorithm, oh yeah, hour is 11 and minute is 0, now I need to ring, that's why it will ring. Till that point it will stay silent, right? That is how things work. Take input, have definition for the function, what to do with the input, according to that give the output. So simple function, we always are used to see this like f of x is the function defined, right? And let's say I define it as x square plus 2. So x is the input here. Once I give an input of x, what should I do? Square it and then add to it, and then that's the output that needs to be thrown out. Right, that's the function definition, right? The black box here is defining that whatever you get, square it and then add 2 to it and then throw that as output. If I give 1 as input, it will square 1, then add 2, so that is 3, that is being thrown as output. And that is what we do, right? What is f of 1 is when 1 is input, so 1 square plus 2, that's why it's 3. Right? If I say for what value of x, or what value of input would give me an output of 5, 6. Okay, let's take 6. Right, so that way is basically if it is x square plus 2, so x square is 6 minus 2, 4, x should be plus 2 or minus 2. Both of them should give me the same output. But anyways, that's how. So function is basically this input, right? I take that, do the operation and then throw the output. What should I do as operations is something that is defined in the function. That's something that you need to be looking at and understanding. There could be multiple inputs like f of x comma y is equals to xy plus y square. So x and y are the two variables, xy plus y square. If I define f of x comma y as xy plus y square and I ask you what is f of a comma b, right? It's simply doing the same. So x is the first input, that's why it is coming here. Y is the second input, that's why it's coming here and here. Similarly, a is the first input, a, b is the second input, b, plus b square. Doesn't matter, it's not that you only should use these variables, right? It is like defining as input 1 and input 2, and I am doing input 1 into input 2 plus input 2 square. So even if I give you f of 2 comma 3, that is 2 into 3 plus 3 square. If I give you f of 2 comma a, it is 2 into a plus a square. You'll get like this. Variable plus number, number plus number, variable, variable. It could be anything. All you need to do is just that. Look at this as a input 1, input 2, rather than trying to understand it should be only x or it should be only y. That's a wrong, way of looking at the functions. So what you'll get to see in some of the questions is this, f of g of f of something something. So let's assume that I've defined functions like this, okay? F of x comma y is x square plus y square. are 2y, okay, x square plus 2y. And g of a is defined as a minus 4. And let's say h of c is defined as 2c plus 6. Right, so I have defined three functions. For function 1, forget about x and y. This is like there are two inputs, input 1 and input 2. I am doing basically input 1 square plus 2 into input 2. For function g, it's one input and input 1 minus 4 is this. If I ask you what is g of x, it's simply x minus 4. Don't get confused that x is used here. How can I use it? Like, that has nothing to do with that. These are simply variables that I'm using to represent what should I do or what should be my algorithm for the function. Right? So if I ask you now, what is f of g of h of 1 comma g of h of 2, right? So I need to evaluate from the innermost. So first I need to find h of 1. What is h of 1? 2 into 1 plus 6, that is 8. What is so what will this be? G of h of 1 will become g of 8 comma g of h of 2. I need to find out h of 2, that is 2 into 2 plus 6, that is 10. So it will be g of 10. Because I know f will have two inputs, that's why we have g of 8 comma g of 10. Now let me find out what is g of 8 and what is g of 10. What is g of 8? A minus 4, that's 8 minus 4 is 4, and g of 10 is 10 minus 4 is 6. So this will translate to f of 4 comma 6. So f of 4 comma 6, if f of x comma y becomes x square plus 2y, this should be 4 square plus 2 into 6. So 16 plus 12, that is 28 is the answer. You know, that's how you need to do. When you have multiple functions inside each other, start from the innermost, find that out, and then take that as input for the next function, Right? Let me call it like this. What is the value of f of g of, okay, that doesn't work. What is the value of g of h of g of h of g of 2? Right, I have like g of h of, otherwise I can write this as like this, g of o, you see o instead of bracket, h o g o h o g of 2. It's basically the same thing, huh? G of, that's why bracket, instead of that I'm putting o h. You won't have a function defined as o, the function is defined as g h g h g. So start from the innermost. So what is g of 2? So g of 2 is 2 minus 4 is minus 2. So this will be replaced to g of h of g of h of minus 2. Right, I replace this entire g of 2 with minus 2. Now h of minus 2 is 2 into minus 2 plus 6 is minus 4 plus 6 is 2. So this will be replaced with g of 2. I already know g of 2 is minus 2. Again I'll get h of minus 2, g of h of minus 2. h of minus 2 is, again I know that it is 2. So this will become g of 2, and g of 2 is again minus 2, I know that. So it is going on in that loop that just worked out like that, minus 2 and 2, 2 and minus 2, that's why. Anyways, that's how you need to do like g of h of or f of g of something. Just start from the innermost, then go to the next, and then keep doing it till you come to the final, and then give the value. So let's solve some problems. As we always recommend, we suggest you to pause the video and try these on your own. Once you've tried, you can follow the explanations that we're giving so that you understand them better. If you couldn't solve, or even if you could solve, you took a bit more time. So your conceptual understanding will be better. So hope you've tried. F of x comma y, a function is defined as 4x square y square. G of h is defined as 2h plus 3. And f of a comma b is given as 16. So I don't know the value of a and b. So if I give a and b as input, the output is 16 for this function f of x comma y. So find the value of f of 3a comma 2b is what the first question is. So you see, what is f of a comma b according to the definition of the function? 4 into a square into b square equals to 16. 4 1s are 4 4s are. So I know that a square b square is 4. I'll keep this aside for now. What is the question asking me? To find out f of 3a comma 2b. Now if I define it again in the same way, what will I get? 4 into 3a square into 2b square. So what would that be? 4 into 9a square into 4b square. So if I take the coefficients to the left, so it will be like 4, I mean to say the same expression, 4 into 9 into 4 into a square into b square. You know, from this I know a square into b square is 4. So I can replace this with also 4. So this will come as 4 into 9 into 4 into 4. Right, so this will be like 64 into 9. So that will be 576. And that's the answer for this. Right, you don't need to know what are the values of A and B. Okay. Even if you get to this point, you understand A square, B square is 4. You take A as 1 and B as 2. Or A as 2 and B as 1. Or minus 1 plus 2, blah blah. You can keep taking quite a few cases so that A square, B square is 4. And I try here, you'll get the same answer. But you don't even need to do that. I can just keep A square, B square as 4 aside and then I'll get the same. The questions would also be asked in the same way. They would not ask me what is the value of f of 3a comma 2a. If I ask you this question, there will be infinite answers or lot many multiple possibilities for this. That's why they won't ask question like this. What is the value of f of g of 0 comma g of minus 1? So what is g of 0? G of h is 2h plus 3, so g of 0 is 2 into 0 plus 3 is 3, and g of minus 1 is 2 into minus 1 plus 3 is minus 2 plus 3 is 1. So what is f of g of 0 comma g of minus 1? That's f of 3 comma 1. So 4 into 3 square into 1 square, so 9 4 is 36 into 1, 36 is the output for f of g of 0 comma g of minus 1. And that's how we should do this.